morning, Sunny here from Sunny Snaps. I do arts, crafts and photography. I don't do YouTube videos for photography, I just do it for my arts and crafts. And I am in the midst of making this journal, so there's already a couple of videos up of me doing the cover and sewing in the signatures, so you can go back at my playlist and find those if you like. And now I'm up to doing some of the decorating to put some things into the journal. So I did one day decide to play with my embossing folders because I never do that enough. And when papers are embossed, and I'm not sure how well you can see that on there, just move it around a little bit, they are absolutely gorgeous. Gives you that lovely texture so that it's got a raised pattern. And these two are butterflies, and I have this one. Now this is done on a card that you can sand, and when you sand it, the paper that's in the middle comes through. So this is pink, obviously, with some white in the middle, and it's pink on both sides. Now this side's textured, like a basil, they call it, cardstock, and this side's plain. And so you've got the raised butterfly on this side and debossed butterfly, so the butterfly sunken into the paper on this side. So I've sanded both sides to see what it looks like, and I'm actually liking the plain side better, I think. Another embossing folder. Now embossing folders I pick up from all over the place, and a lot of them I've had for a very long time. Some of them would be Stamping Up, some of them would be from Country Papercraft in Western Australia, and all over the place. There's another little butterfly one on a darker card. Now this card has the spots already on it, and I've just added the embossing pattern with some butterflies. And another darker card. I was going to use these as like journal cards / photo cards, where I'll put the photo on the back and a piece of journaling and then tuck it into pockets. But this journal is going to be quite alligatory mouth when it's finished. And I've already put a few things in there, and it's already getting past its flat stage, so it's going to be quite alligator mouthy, which is fine because I will put a band around it to hold it shut. But I don't want it to get super thick, so I'm only going to use a couple of these. And what I thought I would do actually is probably turn them into pockets and put a pocket so I can put a tag in that's a bit smaller. I'm not 100% what I'm doing with them all yet. So what I thought I would start with today is, I love this paper. This isn't like a handmade paper, it's a board, but it looks handmade, and it's got these little rose petals in it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got a beautiful texture as well. So I'm going to put a couple of pockets on here, and here's some tags I've started to make. This one's embossed as well, and then I've just put a piece of material over the top, and I've actually decided to do some embroidery like flower thingies. This one went a bit astray, but that's okay, and these three worked out all right. And then I've covered the stitching on the back with a piece of matching material. Oh, that was rather cute. So I'm going to make this pocket here so I can slip this tag in here, and I want to only glue the pocket on two sides because these are quite big tags, and I am going to put stuff on them. I want them to be easy to get in here, but also not fall out. So I figure if I glue this on two sides, and then I want to put a nice really big rounded edge here to make it really easy to slip these in and out. So I just put this over to the side, and I was looking around my desk, what have I got that's round? Well, now that I found one thing, I can see lots of things. Little buckets, you could use a little bucket that's nice and round to trace on. You could use a cup, you could use a saucer, you can use anything really, anything that's round. So I'm just going to do it this way, and I'm showing you the layman's way of doing it, because if you've got dies and things, you can actually, I don't know if you can do a quarter of a big circle. It'd be a bit difficult without cutting the rest of the card. So just trace around that with a pencil. Then I'll get my scissors. I have these scissors, Scotch titanium non-stick scissors. Love love, love non-stick scissors, especially when you're working with card that you've put tape on. Absolutely brilliant. And these are cutter bees, made in Taiwan, and you get them from EK Success. Absolutely brilliant baby scissors. I generally tend to use my smaller scissors quite a lot. Some people prefer to use bigger ones, but I generally prefer to use the little ones. Although when you're doing bigger sections like this, the big ones are probably good as well. And the trick to getting it smooth is to move your card while you're cutting. Don't try and do it with the scissors around like that. It won't be as smooth as if you're moving the card. Now, when I did that, I did a bit of both, so I went like this. So you get a nice smooth edge, and let me see how that's sitting in there. That's sitting really nice. I just have a little bit of pencil on there that I need to rub off. So we'll just rub that off. Oh, look, the cover just came off the rubber. That's okay. And I've got a second one in here as well. So the other side of this page, I'm going to do the same thing, but I have a pink tag ready. And this piece of material I've put over, put a little bit of lace on the front, and then I've just sewn with some wax thread and left a knot on the back to hold it on there. I really like putting these bits of material on here. It's really cool. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to make this pocket the same. So I'll just copy the shape off of this one. What I might actually do is do it on the back, because that would be no, that won't be sensible, because I'll probably end up doing it the wrong way around. I know, if I put it like that and I do it on the back, that way you won't see any pencil marks if they're on there, and I don't need to rub them off. So tracing around that one. I'll try the bigger scissors on this one. So I'm just starting, and so you move the paper as the scissors go, keeping the scissors in place until I get to the end. Now when I'm doing circles onto straight edges, I try and go as shallow as I can and keep going around until I get to the edge, so you get this nice smooth same as like this. So from circle to straight is really smooth, and you don't get a circle going and then a wonky. I don't know if you understood that. Like, really didn't make a lot of sense, but somebody might understand. And what I just did then was actually did that back to front, because this page is facing the other way. But that's okay, because we'll just have it sitting this way. Because if I turn it around this way, this cardboard, and I don't know how well you can see it on here, is a basil, but it's the shiny one. So this is the shiny side, and this is the flat side. And I definitely want the shiny textured side up. So we'll put it this way, and this will make that tag really easy to put in there. And then when the book's closed, it's going to have a band around it, so it's not going to go anywhere. And I will decorate these, but I'm thinking, do I do it now or do I do it later? I don't really have a lot of the decoration stuff near me, but I do have this flower, and that is absolutely adorable. I don't want anything to go through the card, because I want the tag to be easy to put in here. So I was just thinking I could attach it with a brad, but then you'll have the legs of the brad on the back and your tag will get caught on it. I actually really like that. It's just really simple and sweet. So I am going to just glue that on there. This is just a standard PVA. Nice big blob of glue in the middle. And we'll just glue it on there like that. Hold it in place for a few seconds. Give the glue time to bite. Rub it around. There we go. I think that's gorgeous. I'm generally fairly simple, I guess, with my decorations. I don't generally put lots and lots of layers, although I'm trying to train myself to, because some of them look absolutely adorable. So now I'm just going to put this pocket, glue this pocket on here. For that, I'm going to use my Tiger glue, which is still just a white PVA glue, but it's a stronghold one. Love, love, love this glue. But I don't, whoopsie, there we go, big huge spot of it. I'm just going to rub my finger along carefully. And I'm not too worried about it being a wide stripe because it just gives the pocket more bite, and the tag's not as wide as the pocket, so it will be just fine. So I'm just smooshing that along so it goes right out to the edge. And I want a decent amount of glue on here because this handmade type paper really soaks up your glue. So you want to have plenty of glue to make sure it holds. If you've just put a thin smear, generally you'll find it won't stick to these handmade papers. A bit like trying to glue hessian. When you try and glue hessian on, you need a lot of glue because the hessian tends to soak it all up. Or use a hot glue gun, that works. I haven't tried using a hot glue gun on papers in journals yet. I think I will do that one day, but just not yet. I'm in the process of doing this, and this is the way I'm doing it at the moment, so that's the way I'm going to go. So I haven't got another flower to put on here handy, so I'm going to decorate this one later, and I'm just going to glue it in. Same thing, we use my tiger glue now that it's back and it's working properly. Oh, so this bottle it's just got that long plastic tube, and when you get it you cut the end off to get your open end, so you can cut it wherever you want, and obviously the further down here you cut it, the bigger your opening will be. So this one's a reasonably big opening, so it does put out a fair bit of glue in comparison to your metal tip ones that are only a really fine amount of glue. So I generally use the bigger ones when I want a decent amount of glue, because I know it's going to be fairly wide and not just a skinny line. And I want to make sure, like I said, that this is going to hold really well on this paper that soaks all your glue up. So I just put that on there and press it down nice and hard so that it holds properly. Make sure there's not too much excess spilling out. Now if you want to, you can grab your little bone folder and run it along. The bone folder just helps the glue smush out, and then it will grip onto the paper better. There you go. So let's go back to this one. Oh yep, that's holding pretty good. And see how this is quite a big opening? And that's what I wanted, because like I said, I'm going to probably put a photo and some decorations on there, so it's going to be quite bulky. So I want it to be easy to get in without catching on anything. So I won't let that sit in there at the moment because I don't want to accidentally glue it in. So there we go. Two pockets are glued in. I'm just going to show you a couple of other things I've started doing. So this one is a piece of that shiny card with the texture, and I have some more handmade type paper which I've put on the front here, and that's not even glued on, that's literally just sitting there. And then this letter is out of a scrapbook page with the P, precious. So I've used the brads to attach this paper and this paper to this paper. So the brads come through here. So on the back I've put 3 strips of material to cover the brads, but also add some decoration. And then I add an extra piece of paper here because I want to put an eyelet up here to hang something off of later on, so I want it to be a bit stronger. And don't look at my straight lines because it's a bit crooked, but I figure once I put a photo on and do some other things, you won't even notice. And then this is just a piece of scrapbook paper with another piece of scrapbook paper on top that's got a torn edge and a little butterfly stamped on there. So that's going to go in here somewhere. The other thing I thought I would do, I've got this little tag which has a little tag that sits in the front. Again, I've used the material on here, and here I've used 2 pieces of material back to back, and I did sew them, just hand sew them together with a piece of wax thread, but I've then tied a piece of material in a knot and glued that on there, and then this piece of material is literally just knotted through that little tag. This is a very tight little pocket, so I'm thinking I will just put some journaling on this tag because otherwise it won't fit back in here. and then that's going to go in the book somewhere. I've got a little wonky envelope. I have a video of wonky envelopes that I've done. This one's actually not that wonky. It's fairly straightforward. And it's literally just a book page folded into an envelope shape with some stenciling and ink on top, a couple of bits of paper. On the back, some more paper. I cut a little heart out, so I've hand cut out that heart. So if you don't have any punches or any way of cutting out shapes, you can do your own. So I literally just drew on the back of the paper till I got the shape I liked, and then I just cut it out. And then I've got a piece of paper stuck on top here that has some washi tape on it, and that just holds a little tuck down, so I can then put something in here, and then I can put that in this book as well. And I also have this piece. So when I cut down these cards, they were all 12 by 12 papers. So when I cut them down, there was obviously strips left. So because these are, where's my ruler? Almost 7 inches tall. So off the 12 by 12, you had like a 5-inch strip. So this should be close to 5 inches. It's actually a little bit more. It's actually 5.5 inches. So it's the strip that's cut off the top, and then I've literally just folded it into 3 in a Z fold. I call it a Z fold. I don't know if that's what you call it, but so I've done that. Then what I will do with this one is attach it on the page, and I'm thinking I'm going to attach it on the back of this page. So when you come to this page, you can open this up, and there'll be decorations and photos and journal spots on there. And on the back here, when I attach it on here, I'm just going to attach it on 3 sides, so then we have a pocket that we can slip something in there. Now, just trying to think whether I want to do it on 2 sides or 3 sides. Whether I don't want to have a pocket this way because this is really close to the spine, so it's really hard to pull things in and out when you're getting really close here. So I think you would have to have a top pocket. I was just wondering whether I only glue 2 sides and have it open this way. I think I'll have it a bit more secure because people will be opening and shutting it. I'll have it a bit more secure, and I'll glue it on 3 sides. So I'm going to use this is just ordinary cardstock, and so is that. So I'm going to just use my ordinary PVA glue for this. Now, when you do this sort of thing, check. You know, like they say with the carpenter, measure once, measure twice. Measure 3 times if you have to. The more often you measure, the more likely are you going to get it correct. So it's sticking in here. So I'm gluing on this side, and I want to glue those 3 sides. So I'm just going to pull it out like this and lay it down here. That's the top. So I don't get it all mixed up. And still got to think about it. I've got to glue these 3 sides. It's better to be slow and think about it properly. Otherwise, if you're like me and just a bull at a gate a lot of times, then you end up with the wrong thing glued the wrong way. And I am quite good at doing that. But once you glued it, without ripping the paper, it's pretty hard to get it off. So slow down, think, and take it easy. I'm going to put a little bit wider glue at the bottom because I don't mind how thick the glue is at the bottom. Make sure it's held better. Actually, I might do that all the way around. Put a little bit more on. The more glue you have, the more secure it will be. So put that on there. And then to get it on here as straight as possible, what I'm going to do is tuck this in under here because this is going to fold over. Now I need to put it up a little bit because I don't want it all the way down the bottom, but I don't want it all the way up the top either. I prefer more room at the top to be able to put the things in, and then flick that down and smooch it all around. Now some glue is going to come out of here because, oops, got glue everywhere. I put a fair bit on, but that's okay because when it dries, if you don't like the look of the wet glue, There are some clear glues that will just rub off. You know, they'll sort of smooch into a ball and rub off. But I just like my PVA. And if you don't like the little bits of overflow of glue, then you just put decoration over it. Simples. Simples. So there we go. Open this, and that just opens out. This again is a little offcut that I had when I was making a few things, and it was a folded over piece, so I've just folded it over this page and glued it on both sides. So there we go. We have our little flip out, and I think that's really quite good. I like that. And then I'm just going to do one more thing today. So on the back here, I've made this little mini photo journal, bit of string, and the string goes, I punched 2 little holes in this card, and I pulled the string through, and then I've glued this piece of card with a piece of paper on top of it onto the back, and that string's not going anywhere. So I like, when I'm having these closures, to have them attached so you don't lose them. Because knowing me, I'd pull it off, look through the book, walk off, go somewhere, and put the book somewhere down and lose the piece of string. So this way it won't get lost. This is obviously out of a book by Enid Blyton. So I've just glued that on there with a few bits of paper, little piece of fabric, and Never Stop Dreaming. This is one that I printed myself. So I just made myself up a sheet full of words and printed them out, and then I've just cut that out and put that on there. Now I have covered up my kids' photos because these are cheeky photos of little kids, so not something I want to have on YouTube. So I have this little, I will just move this up just a tad if I can without showing a photo underneath, because I want to show you what I've done here. This is a couple of circles put on here with a little brad in the middle with a little piece of card so it moves around, and that holds that piece of paper flat. And then this piece of paper has a little story, and you can write on both sides. I've written in pencil on this side and a little story on this side about the photos, and then you can just close that up. More illustrations from the Enid Blyton book. This is a really old book, and the paper is really brittle. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. So I've actually Mod Podged them on and Mod Podged over the top as well, just to hold that paper and make sure it's not going to go anywhere, and it should stay there for ages and ages and ages for lots of people to enjoy. That's the contents out of the book. Another photo, just a little tag, and that's that one. Close it up, tie up your string. This is a little piece of string with my fat fingers. Do a little bow. When I'm doing them like this, I make sure I have enough string to fiddle around a bit, because my fat fingers don't like fiddling with little bits much. So little tie there. Then this is going to go in the back of this book. I want it to sit here, and I have this piece of paper here, which is the offcut from this paper, and I've just cut it into a big tag, and this paper is an offcut from this paper, so it's literally just stuck on top of that one. So what I thought I could do, I want to do a belly band, so I'm going to put this here so this book can slip in and out in the back here. Now I did think about putting it as a pocket on the side here and putting that here, but because this is really thick, I'm thinking it would fall out really easily. So I thought a belly band would be better, but because this is quite thick, I actually want to make sure I have a fair bit of slack. So see, I don't know if you see, when you pull it up, you can, if you glue it on flat like that, there's not much give in paper obviously. So I'm going to glue it with a little bit of room in it like this, so you can slip that. I haven't got enough fingers, but I'm going to push it together a little bit when I glue it, so it's easy to put this in here. Otherwise I'm not actually going to be able to get it in there. And I did think about gluing it while it was in here, but Yeah, I might do that. Actually, I might do that. Let's do that. But I'm going to put some tape on the ends first before I glue it. Well, actually what I might do is put a little line of glue, and then I'll put a line of tape. This paper here is really textured, so I want to make sure it is stuck. Back again. Video turned itself off. It does at 25 minutes. That 25 minutes goes really fast. I always thought I was under it, but absolutely not, apparently. So all I've done is I've glued this in. I put glue on, then tape on, then more glue, and then I glued this belly band in. And what I did, and it's been a few minutes now, so it should hold, I actually put this book on here, and then I held the belly band on nice and tight, and then pushed the ends down. So that way I'd have enough space for it to hold the book, but also have a fairly tight hold on it. And it's actually worked really well. That book fits in there nice and tight, so it's not going to go anywhere. There you go, look. Oh, yay, it stays in there. Woohoo! There you go. So thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Love to see you back again. Please let me know if there's anything you want to see me do in future videos, and appreciate your time. Catch you next time. Bye.